Outside Health and Fitness Podcast, episode 116. Better trail nutrition with the Greenbelly Bar.
Yeah, I mean, I had a great time traveling, but a big thing that I was having a problem with was food. When you're on the go, it's like you're limited to fast food on the road, protein bars, or dehydrated meals, or some kind of over-processed meats. I just felt like there was an opportunity there.
Welcome to the Outside Health and Fitness Podcast. We're getting outside the box, outside our comfort zone, and outside and in shape. If you're bored with the same old fitness routine at the gym and you're ready to try something new, then this is the show for you. We're exploring new and fun ways to get fit on the trail, on the water, on the slopes, and outside.
Hi, this is Steve Stearns from OutsideHealthAndFitness.com. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of the Outside Health and Fitness Podcast. If you're new to the show, we like to stay fit and active by having fun outside. We like to ride, slide, run, walk, hike, bike, golf, row, swim, and ski. If it's fun, if it's outside, and it keeps us healthy, we're totally into it. So if you're like us and you want to be healthy, active, and have fun outside, then you found the right place. You know, whenever I've gone hiking, one of the biggest challenges for me is, what do I bring to eat? You know, I'm looking for something that is compact and lightweight. I don't want to mix water because that means I got to bring water. I don't want something that's going to be difficult to make. I don't want to pull out all my pots and pans and all that kind of stuff. And I want something that is healthy, nutritious, all natural, with no processed. You know, when you start putting all of those factors together, it's really tough to find the right thing. And my guest today has developed the right thing because he was dealing with the same issue when he was out hiking the Appalachian Trail. So he said to himself, you know, I need to find something that gives me a third of my daily requirement so it can replace an entire meal, but I want it to be compact, lightweight, I want it to be all natural, and I want it to taste good. And that's what he's come up with. It's very cool. I think you're really going to be impressed with the story and the product that Chris developed here. Now, after the interview today, make sure you hang in there because Jessica Bailey is back on the show, and she's sharing a tip in this week's Sassy Girl Exercise Tune-Up.
OutsideHealthAndFitness.com.
So last week on the show, I talked with the Mushroom Man, Alan Muscat, and he talked to us about foraging and how he goes out into the wilderness and forages for food. And I was really impressed to learn that wild food is far healthier and far more nutritious than I ever thought before. It was a great episode. If you missed that, you may also have missed some of the exclusive articles that I send out in the newsletter every week. You know, the newsletter is great. It's free, and what I do is I send right to your inbox a little brief about the next show that's coming up, exclusive health and fitness articles. I've got some guests who do some posting, and I send those to you as well. And as a special thank you for signing up, I also send out my free morning Tabata routine. This is the routine that I do in the morning, and it only takes 4 minutes. Okay, maybe it's more like 8 if you figure in warm up and cool down, but whatever, it's pretty quick. And by the end, you're exhausted. You've given it your all, but you've also revved up your metabolism for the entire day. It is a really cool workout. I think you're going to like it. So visit OutsideHealthAndFitness.com/116 to sign up for the newsletter right now. And go ahead and do it. Just hit pause because I'll be right here when you get back. I promise I'm not going anywhere. Okay, let's get right into my interview with Chris from Greenbelly Bar. All right. Well, Chris, I'm really excited to have you on the show. Welcome to Outside Health and Fitness.
Yeah, thanks so much, Steve. Good to be here.
Great. So, we were talking just before we got started here that you're in a much warmer place than me. You're down in Georgia, right?
Yeah, it's I guess technically it's not too warm. I think the high today was 29, but yeah, I'm down here in Georgia, and yeah, the low was I think 14. So
wow.
That's cold. That's cold for us, you know.
That seems cold for down south for sure.
Absolutely.
Wanted to just kind of talk to you a little bit about some of your background and how you got so passionate and what your inspiration was for developing these meal bars. So can you kind of talk to us a little bit about maybe hiking and kind of where you came from?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I guess how far back do you want to go? But yeah, it really was in probably about 2009. I was in Birmingham. I'd graduated from, or was about to graduate from college, and I was doing the accounting thing. And I'm not going to say that I necessarily really disliked it, but it just wasn't really where I saw myself long terms. And there were a lot of things I wanted to do. And New Zealand, I always wanted to go to New Zealand. I wanted to do some traveling. I did a lot in Boy Scouts when I was younger and was exposed to the Appalachian Trail, and I really wanted to hike the Appalachian Trail. So I kind of started thinking, yeah, maybe about 2010, about doing some traveling, a couple years worth of traveling. So I hopped on over to Asia and went to Japan and Thailand and Cambodia and Vietnam, and was kind of taught some English over there. Worked at an orphanage and just really loved Asia. I was over there for a few months and then ended up shipping a bicycle from the U.S. that I'd gotten and sent that to New Zealand. Hopped on a bicycle and just started cycle touring the length of New Zealand. So
wow,
yeah, I just packed up all my stuff on the back of the bike and started cycling south from Auckland. So yeah, ended up doing maybe, I don't know, 3,000 kilometers or something over the course of a few months, just kind of, pulling off on the side of the road and finding a good spot to set up camp for the night and yeah, hitchhiking around and just kind of New Zealand was just really, really friendly country. I always heard that the Kiwis are like Americans were in the 50s, that it's just really, really a laid back group of people. So they were totally, willing to let you camp out on their lawn and hitchhiking there just isn't a taboo, kind of like it is in the United States. So came back to the United States and flew up to Maine, up your neck of the woods. Yeah. And started hiking south and ended up finishing up in Georgia, a few thousand miles, and a few months later. Yeah, I mean, I had a great time traveling, but a big thing that I was having a problem with was food. And when you're on the go, it's like you're limited to fast food on the road, or protein bars, or dehydrated meals, or some kind of over-processed meats. I just felt like there was an opportunity there, and I definitely wanted, when I was traveling around, more nutrition, whether it was calories or protein or fiber, or anything like that, and getting it from some kind of real ingredients and not anything funky or, artificial.
Right.
Yeah, I came back and I really started thinking about kind of developing this meal, something, like there were some meal replacement bars out there, but their calorie content the highest ones hovered around 400, and which was, it was good, but I really wanted something more robust that could really substitute for a full meal. So, you're hiking all day on the Appalachian Trail, just kind of letting your thoughts, your thoughts go. You've got nothing to do all day. I started thinking about, all right, you've got the FDA's recommended daily intake of nutrition, and you eat 3 meals a day. So, why couldn't we just divide those numbers by 3 and, make a meal that provided that 1/3 of your daily nutrition?
Yeah, you were out there traveling, hiking around, and you just kind of saw this issue that, I mean, if you were having that issue, other people were having that issue too.
You're totally right. And I remember like some of the people that were, like when I was cycling around, I came across a couple guys that were cycle touring New Zealand as well. And, we all kind of pulled out our lunches, and I was actually eating, I don't even know where I came up with this, but I was eating cucumber and peanut butter sandwiches.
Wow. I got to try that now.
Yeah, exactly. But, the cucumbers were durable. They weren't as perishable as a lot of other greens.
Yeah.
And it was quick. But the guys that I'd stopped with were drinking this ooze of peanut butter and honey concoction. I remember just thinking, we're sitting here eating this bizarre food, and I knew that, a lot of people on the road were eating fast food. So I was just kind of spawned from there that I felt like there was a need. So, I came back to the United States and didn't have a job. Thought, what's the worst that could happen? I always wanted to start a business. So started working on that kind of concept of 1/3 of your daily nutrition, and started mixing up some stuff on my own with my lack of chef experience. The stuff that I was making was just nutritionally way off. My fats would be 60% of your daily nutrition, and then my proteins would be low, or vice versa. And it wasn't tasting that good. So we ended up bringing a food scientist on board and a chef, and started really getting a nutritional profile, to that 1/3. Then started taking it to people to start sampling the product and seeing if it tasted good, and then started just tweaking and retweaking the formula until we had something that had the nutritional profile that we really wanted, that 1/3 of your daily intake, and something that tasted good.
Can you literally eat 3 of those a day? Is that?
Yeah, that's the idea. I mean,
Wow.
I've definitely done it when I'm out there in the when I'm out there hiking. That being said, you might get a little sick of the same, the same
Well, yeah.
consistency and same flavors. But yeah, that's the whole idea. Eat 3 of them and you're good to go.
Wow.
That's definitely the concept we're going for.
And the other thing that's very nice about them is they're compact, so they're really easy to get in your pack, and there's really nothing that you have to do in terms of heating them up or anything.
The dehydrated meal, you just have those kind of Mylar bags, and you add hot water and seal them up and let them cook. Those are great, but even those sometimes can be a little inconvenient, for lunch. Pull out a stove and get that going. So yeah, that was the non-cook meal plan, if you will.
I want to talk to you a second about the Appalachian Trail. So you through hiked the entire Appalachian Trail.
Yes, I did. Yes.
That's awesome. That's amazing. So this is when you said you had this time to kind of think about things, and you formulated this idea of the bars. What's the name of the bars again?
Greenbelly.
Okay, so you have to explain that too. What's Greenbelly?
Field guides, that's what they're called, field guides. I was reading a mammal field guide and a reptile field guide, and with all those kind of species in there, and there was something called a red-bellied snake. And I was thinking of company names at the time, and I was like, I kind of like that name, Red Belly. Just change it out for Green Belly. It seemed to kind of fit more with the food category, and it just seemed seemed kind of lighthearted. So
it's kind of a natural thing. Yeah, that's cool. That's awesome.
So.
Now, I also see on here that I've got one of them here.
Yeah.
I have the cranberry almond, but it says buy a meal, give a meal. What is that about?
Yeah, I was kind of a little bit inspired by Tom's Shoes. The first time I ever heard about Tom's Shoes was somebody talking about this company that was, when you bought their shoes, they were giving a pair to somebody in need. And I remember thinking that was really cool. And that was several years ago, I think when I was still in college, and hadn't even thought about a company. Yeah, again, so just the idea of starting a company, wanting to do something a little beyond the profit motive, it just seemed to make sense. So partnered up with the Atlanta Community Food Bank. Any meal bar that somebody buys, we give a meal to the Atlanta Community Food Bank to distribute around Georgia.
Wow, that's very cool. That's an awesome thing.
Yeah.
That's great. And you were inspired by Tom's Shoes.
Yeah. And I know that buy one, give one concept has really caught on. I think Warby Parker's that glasses company.
Yeah.
I don't know have you heard of them?
I have heard of them. Yeah.
I know it's definitely catching on, and I just really like the idea. It's an easy concept, and it kind of makes you feel good. So,
aside from someone that's doing a lot of hiking, are there other people that you could see that would benefit from the Greenbelly Bar?
Yeah, totally. That was first thinking about developing the product. I was hiking, I was also cycling, and I was also on the road. Flying and on buses and traveling overnight. All that kind of stuff. And so yeah, I definitely kind of developed mainly out of hiking, but anybody who's health conscious, on the go, needing something convenient, and needing nutrition, that's who we're going for. So, since we've been selling for the past few months, we started selling in early August 2014. A substantial portion of our customers are actually just businessmen, working through lunch that want something quick and robust that'll actually be filling. So, they're 5.6 ounces, which is over twice, if not 3 times the size of a lot of protein bars. So it's going to give you kind of fill you up. We've had cyclists, we've had some good reviews from bicycling folks, ultra runners, pretty much anybody who's health conscious and on the go.
And the ingredients in here are all natural. Is that right? There's nothing.
Totally. I would like to go more for the organic certification with time, but absolutely nothing. There's nothing funky in there, and a large portion of them are organic.
Have you launched a Kickstarter program, or are you underway already?
I've been thinking about doing one even before we launched the product, one of the reasons to do a Kickstarter, and the whole crowdfunding idea is to get a little bit of market validation, and just to make sure you have a viable product that people are willing to exchange money for. So we did a soft launch, back in August when the product is actually ready. We just got some great feedback. We got some great customer traction, and part of the big challenge was that everything is made by hand right now, packaged by hand, and fulfilled by a very, very small team. So kind of the idea with Kickstarter was that the orders are coming in, and I mean, actually currently right now we're back ordered and had to put some of the bars on hold for a bit.
Wow.
But yeah, it was to get a large pre-order and kind of take the startup to the next stage. So hopefully Kickstarter will help us do that, and that'll be launching on March 3rd. Different rewards on there from like a discounted 12-pack, to some much larger stuff. I actually think I'm gonna throw myself out there for a date.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I haven't seen anybody do that, and I think it could be fun. I think if
outside the box.
Right. If somebody wanted to go to dinner, or I totally left it open too to anybody that just wants to hang out. I'm happy to talk business with anybody. It's not just has to be a female wanting a date, but yeah.
Well, you could go to New Zealand, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So some travel expenses in there, but yeah, I want a vacation out of it.
Yeah. That's right. It would be great. So that's exciting. So right now, if somebody wants to purchase a Greenbelly Bar, do you have a website that they go to order?
Right, yeah. So we have greenbellybar.com, and we're selling e-commerce right now, and I think we're in about 12 stores or so, mostly on the eastern seaboard.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, like I said, the site is actually on pause right now. We've been back ordered. We had some good media posts recently, which is fantastic, but the small team, we just can't keep up making them by hand. So the next time you'll be able to get any will be on Kickstarter on March 3rd. So check it out.
Now, how does somebody get to your site on Kickstarter?
You'll go to Kickstarter.com and there'll be a search toolbar, and you can search Greenbelly, and we'll pop up. We'll be Greenbelly Meal, or you can follow us on social media. The handle's at Greenbelly Bar, or Facebook Greenbelly. Yeah, so you can follow us on either of those.
Okay, great. And I'll make sure to put links to all of those in the show notes, so that people that are interested can come right over to the show notes and just click it and go right over to where you are. So what else should we know about these Greenbelly bars? I mean, thank you so much for sending over a sample. So I've got one here I can hang on to and take a look at. I mean, it's definitely bigger than. It's almost like a couple of protein bars wide, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was kind of part of the idea too, is being on the go and hiking and cycling and all that good stuff. Protein bars are great, but they were kind of more fillers to get you from meal A to meal B.
Right.
And it was, kind of the idea of having more substantial nutrition and also more simple just mass of food to actually fill up your stomach,
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, they're substantially bigger than any kind of bar on the market. Yeah, kind of part of the concept too is you think about like a hamburger. Some of those hamburgers have 1,000 calories, and it was like, wow, well, 1,000 calories in a bar. There's no way I would ever eat that. Well, it's kind of like, well, people eat hamburgers that have 1,000 calories for lunches all the time. So kind of was going back to that, 1/3 concept, just to see, about providing 1/3 of your daily intake into that meal, just making the nutrition aspect thought free, if you will.
Right. Well, I thought the same thing when I looked at it. That was the very first thing that was a little shocking. Was I looked at the calories and went, "Whoa, 640 calories." But then I stopped and thought about it and went, "Well, first of all, if you're out hiking or cycling or something like that, you're going to burn those off anyway. And this is a meal. I mean, it's a meal replacement. It's not like, and I think that was the mindset for me, is I had to stop thinking about it as just a bar in between. I mean, this is the meal,
Right.
So it's great.
Right. Yeah. It has been funny. Some people will come back, like, some athletes, and they'll say, 640. Yeah, well, that's, if you're eating 3 meals a day, if you're going for the 2,000 calorie, I guess that's, that'll be good enough. But have you thought about making a 1,000 calorie meal?
Right.
And it's like, I don't know. That seems like, I mean, that's pretty robust. And then, some people will say 650 calories. Oh my gosh, that's insane. There's no way I'm going to ever need that. And it's like, well, I mean, 2,000 calories in a day, yeah, you might. So
yeah, it's all. I think part of it too is it's everyone's so used to picking up like the little protein bar and flipping it over and taking a look at it, and then you look at that and go, whoa.
Totally, yeah.
Those big guys, they could have 2 or 3 of these probably, right?
Right, yeah. So I guess nutrition's all relative, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's right. What you're doing and who you are. Well, Chris, that's really exciting. I think this is a great product. I love the buy a meal, give a meal part of this. I think it's really cool that all this stuff is handmade, and it's you're a hiker, you're a cyclist, you're someone that's out there, and you saw a problem and you solved it. I mean, I think it's just a win-win, really cool situation, and I wish you the best. And
cool, yeah.
We'll make sure that we get some people over to your Kickstarter, and like I said, I'll have all of that stuff in the show notes.
Awesome, yeah. Well, thanks so much. Yeah, the Greenbelly's been a whole lot of fun, and look forward to growing.
We'll watch your story, and I'd love to have you come back on when you have a whole team of people doing this.
Yeah, that's the goal. Need to bring on some more hands and bring up production.
And you launch your 2,000 calorie bar, then we'll
right. That'll be the next product is to get that 2,000 calorie bar.
That's right. Well, thanks again, Chris, for coming on the show.
Sure thing. Yeah. Sure.
Okay, it's time for the Sassy Girl Exercise Tune-Up with my good friend, fitness instructor, Jessica Bailey. Jessica is back to help you tune up some of your favorite exercises so you can get the maximum benefit from the time you put in. Hey, Jessica, how are you?
Hi, I'm super excited to be here.
Yes, thanks for coming back. We love having you. What are we talking about this week?
So this week, I want to talk about the lunge.
Okay.
Because a lot of people don't do them properly, and I see people doing them every single day. So it's something that I feel we really need to talk about.
Okay. Sounds good. It's a popular move.
It is a very popular move. Well, it's gym goers' mainstay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to talk about the core while you're doing a lunge. Most people forget to use their core. Mm-hmm. And so, even though it's not like a plank or you're not on the floor doing ab work, lunges require some pretty serious core strength.
Right.
And it's common to see people and then they fall forward while they do their lunge with their upper body. Their upper body's leaning forward and their front knee is out of alignment. But the knee out of alignment is a whole other issue. Let's just talk about the core.
Yeah.
They don't use their upper body because they forgot to keep their core engaged, right? So to keep proper form, focus on opening your chest by pulling your shoulder blades together as you do the move.
Right.
And then keep keep your core tight throughout.
Yeah.
So drawing in and up, think of pushing your belly button towards your spine and then drawing it up.
Yeah.
So when you're in the deepest part of your lunge, your shoulder and hip should be in the same line.
Perfect.
So your back knee tracks under your spine, your back knee is in line with your hip is in line with your shoulder.
Your weight is kind of going right straight down, right? So it's
correct.
You're all in alignment there. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Great. That's a very good one. And I've seen that too. I've seen people kind of have this tendency to lean forward instead of just standing up straight.
Right.
Right. Perfect.
Now they're not using their core when they do that.
Now we know we can be the core police. We can be out there going, hey, you're not using your core, dude.
Yeah. I don't think that will get you very many friends in the gym, but that's okay.
That's right. That's another segment, I guess.
Yes.
All right. Well, thanks, Jessica. That's awesome. That's something we can work on this week.
Great. I hope you can.
All right. Thank you. As always, that was a great tip. You can get more awesome tips like this on Jessica's site at sassygirlfitnessnyc.com. So today we learned that there's a great option out there. If you're a hiker, a biker, a businessman, or a business person, and you want a quick, nutritious, all-natural meal replacement, then the Greenbelly Bar might be perfect for you. And when you buy a Greenbelly Bar, you provide a meal to the Atlanta Food Bank. I want to thank Chris for coming on the show. It was such a great conversation, and I really appreciate him sharing this product with you and I. I'll have links in the show notes, so if you want to get a Greenbelly Bar or support Chris in any way, you'll be able to do that. I also wanted to let you know real quick about a new show that I'm doing every week with Jessica Bailey called Funky Fitness Now. And we are having an awesome time because we're looking at the weird, wacky, and kooky things that people do to stay fit. And I'll tell you what, some of the stuff is amazing that we are finding. So I'll have a link in today's show notes at outsidehealthandfitness.com/116. So you can check out Funky Fitness Now. You can follow Chris, all the links and resources that we talked about. And while you're there, make sure that you sign up for that free email newsletter if you haven't already. Thank you again for listening to the show. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you outside.